woke up this morning and I pray to the Most High. The sun is shining so bright. I'm blessed to live this life. Yahawashi. Blessed be Yahawah. Blessed be Yahawah.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom. Halal, Bahasham, Yahawashi. First and foremost, before I start, I want to give all praise and glory to the Most High, God of Israel, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All praise to the Most High. Shabbat shalom to those keeping. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. Some seasons you just trying to soak up everything and juggle everything, and that's not really. But me personally, some seasons you're just trying to soak up all the lessons the Most High's teaching you, all the wisdom He's trying to pour into you, and you're just trying to focus on just getting your spirit right. And so some seasons it's not much for you to say, to try to get on here and do videos. So that's where I just kind of been personally. I just feel like there's been so much going on, trying to juggle everything, trying to soak up everything the Most High showing me. So many spiritual warfares battling, and sometimes I'm just in a season where there's none in my spirit. I've been praying about video topics, and it's just Most High ain't been putting in my spirit. So, all praise to Most High. I'm excited to do this one. He dropped this in my spirit, so I'm excited to do this. Call it Yahawah. So I'm gonna just get into it. Shalom to those joining. And we just gonna start off. Brielle just woke up, but it's okay because I got that hay bear on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I got that hay bear on. She's never watched it, but she seemed to like it. So Lord willing, that keeps her, content until I get done. So if y'all hear her in the back, she just woke up. So I tried to do it while she was asleep, and literally when I was about to start, she woke up. So it's okay. So yeah, let's get the foundation for sure. 1 Peter 4:11. So I can. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which the Most High giveth, that Yahawah in all things may be glorified through Yahawashi, to whom be praised in men forever and ever. Amen. So when I speak the oracles of the Most High, everything we do and say, we want to make sure it's pleasing in His sight. And with everything we do and say, we want to give the praise to the Most High. We want to give all praise and glory to Him because it is only His ability. It's only of Him that I'm able to get on here, talk about these precepts, that we're able to understand these precepts, and edify one another. So, Hebrews 10:24, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. I'm on here to provoke my sister unto love and unto good works through the spirit of Bahasham, Yahawashi. So, hey bear is where it's at. All praise Most High. I'm debating if I want to sit her up or just keep her laying down, because I don't want her to sit up and then she start trying to play with all the toys. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, let's get into it. Okay. So I named this the black sheep because what is a black sheep? Okay. It's a member of a family or group who is regarded as a disgrace to it. Okay. And also in the Cambridge definition, it is a person who has done something bad. No, that's not the one I want. This one right here. Someone who embarrasses a group or family because the person is different or has gotten into trouble. Okay, so I bring this out because being in this walk, we have to remain set apart. And there's certain things that we can't do. And there's certain places that we can't be. And there's certain people that we can't be around because we fear the Most High and we want to keep His laws, statutes, commandments. And so people are going to say a lot of things about us. They might think we're extra, you doing the most, you selfish, you weird. And we might feel like the oddball out, and we're supposed to, and that's okay. But we count all these things. We rejoice in these things for Hamashiach Yahawah's sake because Yahawashi went through it. You know, people thought he was weird. People thought he was different. He was talked about, and so us being followers of Yahawashi, we're gonna go through that same thing, and we can't be easily moved by those things, by what people say, um, especially now when it comes to jobs and school and whatever else things we deal with right now. We can't be moved by these things. If we can't be bold and resist now, how are we going to be bold and resist in that day? Because we got to remember all the things that we're going through right now, they're small trials to help get us ready for that big test, Jacob's trouble, that big test that we got to endure through if we want to get the kingdom, Lord willing. And so we can't say no to a job, or if we can't be bold enough for the Most High now, then how are we supposed to be bold enough um when it comes to eat this or die, you know? And we talk about those things a lot. We refer to that a lot. um and of course, some will say, well, the Most High can put that spirit on me. Well, yeah, he can if he chooses to, but you got to show him that you serious now. And so the first two precepts I want to get pertaining to this topic is 2 Corinthians 12 and 10. And it says, therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and necessities and persecutions and distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. So we got to take pleasure in these things. We can't be sad, woe is me, basically depressed and go and just really sad because somebody said that you was weird or people don't want to talk to you no more. Because it just is what it is. We ought to obey God rather than man. If we got to lose a few friends or lose out on a job opportunity, rather than losing out on kingdom, then it is what it is. So we got to take pleasure in these things. We can't let these things move us. So this is what I want us to remember before we start. Romans 5 and 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience. So we got to count these things joy. And I'm not gonna act like it's a good feeling. When people are talking about you and they don't like you, and you can feel the tension in you can feel the tension in the room. You can feel the eyes on you. You know you can feel it. You can feel the contention. You can feel people not liking you. People might say they might, because you gotta remember, like back then, like Stephen was stoned. David, he was stoned when he was him and Saul was going through. Even David got stoned. Yahawashi was talked about. He was hung. Yahawashi was crucified. You know, he was nailed. And so we just got to remember all these different things that our forefathers and foremothers went through. They're gonna talk about us. And let me, what is it? Let's just get that account when David was cursed. Okay, this is 2 Samuel 16 and 13. And as David and his men went by the way, Shimei went along on the hillside over against him and cursed as he went and threw stones at him and cast dust. And so he was probably talking all crazy stuff. And so this is just an example to show if it happened then, it's going to happen now, because there's nothing new under the sun. And although that was just something that was just, because, there was somebody Saul was dealing with, and I guess he was on Saul's side or whatever. That just goes to show, if our forefathers got cursed at, they might cuss us out. They might call us all type of B words and all type of people might say all type of stuff about us. And it just is what it is. We got to glory in it. So call it Bahasham. So to many people we're different and we can't do everything this world does. No, so like because we're different and can't do everything that this world does, we might be looked at as a disgrace, an embarrassment. People might not want to be around us. For some people, they enjoy being around our light because it helps them. However, with other people, your light and spirit may irritate their demons. So notice how some people in your family might be like, "Oh, you can't come around us. We don't want that around the kids. Y'all are in a hate group. Y'all are racist. Y'all are in the cult. We don't want that around the family. We don't want that negative energy around us. You're not welcomed here." We probably have heard those things, or we're definitely starting to hear them soon, and we can't let these things move us. So let's go to Matthew 10, because Hamashiach Yahawashi told us, he warned us. And look, red letters, baby, red letters. So we're gonna start at 16 and we're gonna read all the way down to 39. So let's get your reading glasses on. Let's get ready to read. So behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, Take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. But when they persecute you in this city, flee you into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. Whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am come not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. That was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot of good juice in there, good meat in there. Our personal side, it was a mouthful and a lot of wisdom. Um, and something that I wanted to say before I said anything else. When they say that we're gonna be hated of our men, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents. In that day, people are going to be giving us up. You might have family members that might try to turn you in, but being against one another could start now. People being against one another, it could start now. Contentions and strife with your family, contentions and strife with your coworker and your boss. That stuff can start now. Denying Christ is not just in that day. It could start now when you choose to do things in this world rather than keep the commandments of the Most High God. And so we have to make sure that we're striving to be in that bold spirit now, because when these things come to pass, we want to Most High willing have that spirit where we're like, I'm not going against the Most High for no food or for no to save my life. That's why Yahawashi said, he that loses his life, the same shall find it, because a lot of people in that day are going to choose to quote unquote save their life, and they're just gonna lose it, because you're saving your life for this world, but when Yahawashi come, we're gonna lose it. You're gonna get caught up in that fire, that wrath. But it's better for us to lose our life, to be hated and to be talked about, so most high willing we can gain eternal life, the most important thing. So basically, because we're followers of Yahawashi, since he was hated and persecuted, it's only right that we go through the same thing. And you got to think, Yahawashi, he's come with a sword. And what does a knife do? Like when you're in the kitchen, you use a knife to cut things. A sword, it's used to cut things, to divide things. And so Yahawashi, he's coming to cause division. And so it's going to be a lot of division. There's going to be a division amongst you and your coworkers, you and your manager, you and your family members, you and some friends. It's inevitable. It really is. Like, it's going to happen. And it might not be like on a high scale, but you've experienced some type of persecution. If not, you're going to. And there may be a lot of clashing heads, a lot of contention and strife. And even, like I said earlier, them giving us up in that day because we choose to follow the Most High, and they honestly can't stand that. And in the midst of these things, we have to remember to endure and count of joy, because we knew it would happen. And honestly, it's light, because we haven't really seen persecution at its peak yet. And we aren't being persecuted how our forefathers were. Like I brought up earlier, Stephen was stoned. And, Paul and Peter and the apostles, they were thrown into prisons. John the Baptist was beheaded. And so these are just examples. So we got to count these things joy, because none of that is happening to us right now. And so these small things, endure these. because greater persecutions are going to come to pass if we want the kingdom. So, um, and I got a little story to tell y'all, but first I'm gonna go to Second Corinthians 4. For this, I'm just read 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding eternal weight of glory. So for all of this stuff we go through, man, it's really light. It's really light compared to what we're gonna receive. It's worth it, to go to be talked about, to be hated of all men. It might not be the best feeling, but we know what we're doing it for, and it's gonna be worth it because we know that we have something greater stored up for us. But that's what people in the world fail to understand. They don't understand that because they're carnal. The Most High has, and I say it in a humble way because the only reason we're in this truth is the Most High mercy and grace. But we see things with a spiritual eye, and they don't see things with a spiritual eye. They view everything carnally, and so to them, they just cannot understand why we go so hard for this law, why we love this law so much, why they don't understand our hurt. They don't understand the spiritual warfare we go. They don't understand um what's stored up for us because they think that this place is the end. They think that this is the hope. They think that this is America the Great and it's never going to fall. But we know that it's going to fall. We know that what's coming ahead for us. So these things we're willing to endure because it's like we know we got something better. And so I want to read this. 1 Corinthians 4 and 8. Hold on, give me 1 second. Mm, 1 second. Okay. So this is 1 Corinthians 4 and 8. Now ye are full, now ye are rich, ye have reigned as kings without us, and I would to God ye did reign, that we also might reign with you. For I think that Yahawah have set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, unto angels, unto men. We are fools for Christ's sake, but ye are wise in Christ. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place. And labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it. Being defamed, we entreat. We are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscoring of all things to this day. And that is so real. This is what offscoring means. Offscoring is someone rejected by society. Someone rejected by society. Okay. So hold on 1 second. I'm trying to look up that definition. It's okay. Let's go back. But kind of man, so we're counted as fools in this to people in this world. To people in this world, we're fools. We're silly. Man, you missing out on money for a Sabbath day? That's foolish. I would miss out on no money. If that was me, I'll take care of my family. If I could get more money, I'll take care of my family. That's foolish. We you want to submit to a man? That's silly. Don't no man run me. That's foolish. You gonna do what a man's had to do. Couldn't be me. That's foolish. And everything. I mean, anything. Literally, some people would rather. It's actually mind-boggling. Some people would rather you break the commandments. Like, I have literally been told that I basically look better dressed up like a harlot. I literally have been told that by an elder. So people will say some crazy stuff, man. They will say crazy stuff. And you got to be willing to tune it out for real. Because if you let what people say get to you, you might be, she is kind of right, Ever since I started dressing modest, I haven't really been getting that much attention. I did have more popularity and friends when I was dressing immodest. I was making more money when I was breaking the Sabbath day. Now, I'm kind of coming up short every paycheck. She is right. The holidays are the only time that we get to spend time with family members. I haven't seen my auntie in 3 years. She only comes down on Christmas. It wouldn't hurt to go over there. I mean, I don't have to eat anything. I just want to go see her. Man, Satan is crafty. Satan is crafty. That's why you you have to be rooted in his word. You have to have that relationship with the Most High. And if you don't have boldness, pray for it. Because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. This is Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. So if you don't have that spirit of boldness where it's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not coming. It is what it is. You got to pray for it because we're going to need it now. And we're definitely going to need it in that day. But you cannot let what people say get to you because Satan will hop on you and you'll be over here wondering, dang, am I doing the right thing? Maybe I am, Chipper. Maybe she's right. And no, you got to rebuke that. You got to rebuke that. So let's go to, oh dang, hold on. Let's go to John, 1 John 2:15. Shabbat Shalom. Because Paul basically was warning us what we're gonna face. I don't know if I read all the way down to 18. Hold on, let me go back. I thought I did. Hold on. Oh yeah, I didn't. I didn't read this verse. Salakia. I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. So basically, Paul, he's warning us what we're gonna face. We're fools in the world's sight because I think there's a precept that say like the spiritual man. Let me see. This is 1 Corinthians 2:14. I'm start at 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High. Which things also we speak not in the words which man's wisdom teaches, but which the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. So the natural man, the people of this world, they don't understand the Spirit of the Most High. They don't understand why we got to keep these feast days, why it's so important to keep the law, why we cannot break the Sabbath, why we have to dress modest, why we cannot be around, we got to abstain from all appearances of evil. So no, I'm not going to cousin house to see auntie, and she, like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Y'all can come up, meet up at a park, meet up somewhere another day, do something, but we gotta a line has to be drawn to we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. Like we can't trim our ways to seek love. So when it comes to these commandments and the Most High, we have to be like, no, I'm not gonna break the Most High's commandments to please you or to please anybody. And that's the spirit we gotta be in. And even now, definitely now, and praying for it in that day because we don't want to be bold right now and then Lord forbid give up in that day. So people in the world, they're just not gonna understand. It's just because the Most High hasn't given them the understanding. And so we just got to remember that, like, we have to remain humble because it's only the Most High that we are in this truth. But it also is vexing to the spirit because it's like, bruh, like they make us really seem crazy. Like they will say some crazy stuff, and it is vexing. But I mean, it is what it is. But like I was saying, they don't understand us. They don't understand why we do what we do, why we go so hard. Like I said, they might call us weird. I might say we're doing the most, but we honestly shouldn't care what they have to say. And what they say and what they think don't matter because we're trying to hear overall, well done, my good and faithful servant. So if we got to be some dummies to this world or be some fools to them, if we got to be whatever they call us, hey, so be it. So let's go to 1 John 2:15. It's 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, now even there are many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. So we can't love this world. We can't love this world more than we can't love this world, period. But we can't choose this world over the Most High. We just can't do it. because the Most High, He's not in the midst of wickedness. He's not in the midst of this world. But something I wanted to harp on was this part to just say they were not of us. Of course, this is like talking about something else, but something that just kind of resonated with my spirit was the people that are not in the truth, they're not of us and we're not of them. We're in this world, but we're not of this world. And so they don't understand us. They won't, they're just not going to understand, why we do what we do. They don't understand Christ returning and what that means for us, Him delivering us. They don't understand us reigning again and having slaves again. They're fiends for their job. They trying to climb the highest ladder. They want all these worldly, earthly riches. They trying to stack up on degree after degree after degree. And not that going to school is wrong and having a high position at a job is wrong, because the Most High deals with some of us in that way. He was dealing with Joseph. He dealt with Solomon, and he dealt with a lot of our foremothers and our forefathers. But people in this world, all they care about is things of this world, because they're of the world. And that goes back to that precept that we just read, about the natural man. They can't perceive spiritual things because they're not spiritual beings. And they want us to be like them. Like, you might have family members that they just want you to be like them so bad. They want you to be a workaholic like them. They want you to walk after their footsteps. They want you to be crazy for work, but we'll never be workaholics. We'll never be fiends for work. We're not trying to climb the highest ladder and be the CFO or CEO of a company. We're not trying to get 5 degrees. Because we just don't care. We don't care. We're trying to endure and get up out of here. But people in the world, they don't understand what that means. They, like I was saying earlier, they think that this is the end. They think that this is like, they don't think nothing else is coming after here. They think America is it. And so they have no hope. They have no hope. We have hope. And so the things that we do, they just won't get it. And it's all praise to the Most High that He's given us the understanding. So to miss out on money, or to miss out on, money for the Shabbats or the feast days, to be in order of the Most High's word, to submit to our husbands and to dress modest, and, to not eat pork, to take it seriously, to check ingredients when everything we buy, to not want our children around certain things, to, anything that comes with this walk, they just won't get it. Like, to them, we're bat crazy. Literally. Literally. And it just is what it is. So our person Most High. Our person Most High. And until the Most High wake them up, that's just how it's gonna be. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 3. I'm looking at my notes trying to make sure I'm touching on everything. So I purchase. Okay. We're gonna read from 1 to 9. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they should be greatly rewarded, for God proved them and found them worthy for Himself. As gold in the furnace have He tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. They that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with Him. For grace and mercy is to His saints, He hath cared for His elect. So what I just wanted to harp on out of that was this right here. That was a mighty reading. Um, First we gotta remember, like, the chastening that we get right now, the affliction that we get right now is gonna be rewarded. So don't think that this is in vain. The Most High sees you saying no. He sees you being bold. And although you might get some affliction, and you might lose a job, you might lose out on opportunities, you might we count these things joy. We count these things joy because we know we're doing it for. So the Most High, He sees that, and He's gonna reward us according to that. He's gonna reward our obedience. So I praise the Most High. But this right here, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. So in that day, us dying, and it's going to be destruction in their eyes. They're going to see it as destruction. They're going to see it as misery. But to us, it's going to be peace. So that's just another precept I wanted to pull to show that, you know, they don't understand. Like, they think that we're going through these horrible things, and that we're in a cult, and we're crazy, and we're lost, and when we die, that we're going to be, and that we're just getting destroyed. Like, but they don't, that's not what it is, though. That's not what it is. So they look at everything on a carnal level. They don't see things spiritually. But all these chastening and persecutions we're going through now, it's going to be worth it. So just, we got to continue to endure it. Um, let's go to First Maccabees 3, because when it boils down to it, we got to continue to endure and fight. This is First Maccabees 3:21, but we fight for our lives and our laws. So I wanted to get that, and I wanted to get Acts 21:20. And it reads, "And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law." Let's what does zealous mean? It means showing great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or objective. Synonyms mean devoted, committed. So we have to be committed to this law, like so serious that we're not willing to break it for nothing or nobody. And of course, adjustment fall, we get back up, Proverbs 24:16. But we're talking about willfully sinning here. Like when it comes to this law, we got to be so committed and in love with the Most High in this law that we are not about to break it for nobody, nothing, pure point blank. It is what it is. So if we don't got that zeal of the law, we need to pray for it. We got to pray for it. We got to be zealous for the law because our foreparents were. Judith and Esther were. The Maccabees brothers were. Eleazar was our elder Eleazar, the seven sons of their mother, John the Baptist, Paul, the apostles. About any of our righteous foremothers and our forefathers, they Yahawashi, most importantly, they were zealous of the law. They fought for our lives and our laws. Judith and Esther, great examples of that. They fought for it. Look, which I can't remember. Judith, she cut Holofernes' head off. She chopped it off. She beheaded him. Esther she had favor inside the king. She was able to remove that decree sent on us. Then we was able to do unto our enemies what they had thought to do to us. I believe there's an account of First Maccabees 6. I think it was somebody named Stephen in First Maccabees 6 that slid up under the elephant or slid up under whatever they were riding on and killed it, and then the animal died on him. I think that was First Maccabees 6. But yeah, our elder Eleazar, he fought for our laws and our laws. He didn't. I think it's Second Maccabees 6. So like it, y'all. He chose to die rather than eat pork, and then they wanted him to fake like he was. Am I spelling this right? Okay. They wanted him to fake like he was eating pork. But he was like, no, I'm not going to fake like I'm eating pork. I'm not going to fake like I'm eating pork. Because then I could be a stumbling block into somebody else. And so we just got all these different accounts of our foremothers and our forefathers fighting for our lives and our laws, being willing to die rather than to go against the Most High. And it's just real mighty. Let's read this account in Second Maccabees 6 for edification purposes. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's start at verse number 18. But Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live, stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment. As it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to eat, such as was lawful for him to use, and make it as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, that in so doing he may be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, and as become his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the glory of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by God. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being fourscore years old and 90 years old, were now gone to a strange religion. And so they through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Wherefore now manfully changing his life, I will show myself such an one as mine age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. They that led him changing the good will, they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded as they thought from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest to the Lord that have the holy knowledge that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer these things because I fear him. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. Goodness gracious. Whew! Okay, she said it was another Eleazar. Okay, I think that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to go look at it. I think that's what I'm even talking about. I'll praise the Most High. But oh my goodness, that is so mighty. So basically, first of all, okay, let's go back. Let's slow roast it a little bit, okay? It said that he was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. So you got to picture this. They probably had him doing. They probably had him like this, like they, we stronger than these heathens. So they probably had 2 or 3 big chunky Edomites. They probably had 2 or 3 Edomites or 2 or 3 heathen, whatever, opening his mouth, forcing him to eat it, and he spit it out. He spit it out. Then they was like, okay, well, how about this? Eat this. This is lawful. This don't got pork. Eat it. Fake like it's pork. But he was like, no, I'm not doing that. Because then people are going to think I'm 90 years old now. I'm bugged out at the last second. Like, I'm not doing that. Because you got to think, our elders and just people that were of honorable status had a lot of influence back then. It had a lot of influence back then. So then if they would have saw him eating something that seemed seemed unclean, then they would have been like, dang, bro. Dang. Like that could have persuaded them. So he was like, I'm not about to be a stumbling block into nobody. And I'm not doing it. I'd rather die. But this is what he said though. But in soul am well content to suffer these things because I fear him. We got to be content to suffer these things because of our love for the Most High. Because we are so zealous for our laws. Because we love the Most High and our laws so much that we love the Most High, his laws so much. We love him and fear him so much that we are content. We're content to lose out on a little money for the Shabbat. We're content to lose out for a little money on the feast days. We're content to be talked about and to be hated because we love the Most High. We're content to anything. We're content to go through these afflictions because we fear Yahawashi, and that's the type of spirit we got to be in. We can't be, woe is me, oh, nobody likes me, and nobody wants to deal with me. Nobody. I mean, it is what it is. And you shouldn't expect much from people in the world anyways. I mean, you just shouldn't. Because Yahawashi said, look, my father, my mother, the people that do the will of my father in heaven. So, I mean, you just don't expect much from people that's in this world, that's in the world. But I just wanted to get that account. I just thought that was so mighty. That's how bold we got to be. And that just goes to show an example of how our forefathers and our foremothers, they fought for our lives and our laws. They loved the Most High so much that they weren't going to go against the grain for nobody. So, I mean, we got to be that zealous. Okay, so let's go to 6. It was my first might be 6. I think that's what I was talking about. He slid up under that thing so smooth. Let me see. She said 46. Yep, that was it. First Maccabees 6 and 43. So throw out of y'all when I'll praise the Most High. I thought his name was Stephen. I'll praise the Most High. Eleazar, also surnamed Sovereign, perceiving that one of the beast's armor for your harness was higher than all the rest, and supposing that the king was upon him, put himself in jeopardy to the end he might deliver his people and give him a perpetual name. Wherefore he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying on the right hand and on the left, so that they were divided from him on both sides. Which done, he crept under the elephant and thrust him under and slew him, whereupon the elephant fell down upon him, and there he died. I mean, gosh, dog. And he did it for what? To deliver his people. So all praise to the Most High. We had some mighty, mighty forefathers and foremothers that were willing to go to bat for us, that were willing to go to bat for the Most High. And that's how we got to be. So we got to go to bat for the Most High now. If that means saying no to a job, saying no to an opportunity, because all good opportunities ain't God opportunities, okay? Saying no to things that are not pleasing in the sight of the Lord because, ugh, bro, just sneezed on me. Saying no to these things that are not of the Most High, being bold for the Most High. So let's go to look. Okay, let's go to 2 Timothy 3:10. I'll pray some more time. I mean, she sneezed all up on me. Gross. Why am I going to Second Timothy 3:10. I might need to read Maccabees, huh? 2 Timothy 3:10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch and at Iconium and Lystria. What persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Yeah, and all that will live God. Hold on. Yeah, and all that will live godly and Yahawashi shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing on whom thou hast learned them. So call like how about Bahasham like how shy. Look, all that will live godly is going to suffer persecution. If you're keeping the commandments, you cannot get around it. It's just inevitable. So you just got to take it on the chin. But the beautiful thing is the Most High is going to deliver us out of them all. So whether you lose a job, the Most High, he's just to bless you with another one. Whether you miss out on a so-called opportunity, the Most High has something better in store. So regardless of what's going on, you saying no and going and not going against the grain because you fear the Most High is going to make a way and look out for you, especially in those days, Most High willing. And like I said, we know what we're doing this for. We know we're doing it to get the kingdom of heaven. So even us dying, hey, we did it, man. Our person Most High, if it comes down to that. But nonetheless, we got to continue in these things which we've heard and hold them close and near and dear unto us, because if you don't, you're going to be easily, moved. So when we're getting tempted and these spirits are trying us, we got to remember what the law said. We got to remember what these scriptures, because we have these scriptures to give us hope. So let's go to Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So we have hope. We get hope from reading these scriptures to see how our foremothers and our forefathers handled these situations, to see how zealous and bold they were, to see how zealous and bold Yahawashi was, and ultimately walking after Yahawashi's footsteps, being like Yahawashi, because he was the boldest of bold, okay? He died for us, okay? So all praise to the Most High, Yahawashi. We just can't get around persecution. We just can't get around it. And so you got to remember what these scriptures say and hold fast into them. Remember why we're doing this. Because if you don't remember why you're doing this, it's easy to be like, oh, well, you're right. It won't hurt, and we got to be bold. So this is Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. So all praise to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Let's go back to that. Hold on. Dang it, hold on. So this right here again, Paul, Paul again was kind of warning us. He's giving us that encouragement to just keep going, continue in the things that you've learned and know that we're gonna get something rewarded for us if we continue to endure. And so, and what is it that we've learned though? Because Paul is telling us to continue in the things that we've learned. What have we learned? What is this thing that we've learned? What is this thing that we're supposed to hold on to? Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That thing that we've learned is these laws, such as commandments. So we can't fear this world or fear man, but we have to fear Yahawah, because that is the whole duty of man. We got to fear him. Fear him. Remember what he said. So regardless of what people might say, what they might do, fear him. Don't fear what anybody could do to you. Fear him, because that's who we got to stand before and get judged before. Because, yeah, baby, I hear you. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 5:10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahawashi, that everyone may receive all things. that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. So we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahawashi HaMashiach, all of us. All of us. So don't fear no job, no manager, no boss, no friend, no family. Don't fear nothing or nobody, because we don't have to answer to them. We got to answer to Yahawashi HaMashiach. So we ought to obey the Most High rather than man. So we're going to suffer persecution, period, point blank. No matter what people have to say or tempt us with, we have to obey the Most High. And that's and in a sense, that's what Christ meant. When Christ said, "Whosoever shall lose his life for my sake, the same shall find it," he meant what he meant when he said that. As we can't love, and when he said we can't love father and mother more, what he basically was saying was we can't choose this world over Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. We can't love this world and the things of it more than them. We can't love this world, period. We cannot choose jobs and friends and family and opportunities and all of that over Yahweh Shai, especially no, especially when it goes against the commandments of the Most High. And so, if we're trying to get the kingdom, we got to be willing to count these things done. We got to be willing to count these things done and be like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going. And it just is what it is. This is Philippians 3:7. But what things were gained to me, those I kind of lost for Yahawashi. Yet doubtless, and I count all things but lost for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahawashi HaMashiach, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahawashi. So we got to count these things dung and loss. Because like I was saying earlier, it has to be a line drawn. It has to be a line drawn, and we have to be bold and please the Most High rather than man. Because these people might sign our check. Our friends might say what they want. They might say they don't want to deal with us. Our family might say they don't want to deal with us. They might stop talking to us and distance themselves. But they're like, again, they're not who we have to stand before to get judged. We don't have to stand before them. They're not going to determine if we get to enter into the holiest of place. That's not up to them. So it don't even matter, because this life is not gonna last. So who cares what they have to say? Who cares? So we can't let mortal fleshly man shake us. We have to have boundaries. Stop accepting holiday gifts. Don't let your children accept them. Tell your family no. Tell your don't teach children about wickedness. If you're working if you're like, you gotta think, like, what will Yahawashi do, man? Like, yes, we're in this world, but that doesn't mean you help push wickedness of this world. That doesn't mean that you be of this world. Because that's why that line has to be drawn. Because, like, for me, I work in a childcare field. I'm not sitting up here teaching you about Thanksgiving and singing things. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I'm just not doing it. And that's how we have to be. Whatever job you have, whatever, you have to do, whatever school thing, whatever you got going on, there's a million things we be having going on. If it helps push the wickedness of this world and it goes against the Most High, a line has to be drawn. We're like, no, I'm not sitting up here doing that. I'm not sitting up here helping you decorate a Christmas tree because you told me I have to. You got to remember, these folks can't force us to do nothing. Okay, nobody is forcing us to do anything. We have the ability to be like, no, that goes against what I believe and that makes me uncomfortable. Could I be excused from this? It just is what it is. There's a way to go about it in a respectful manner, but you have to be bold, because nobody has put a gun in your head saying, I need you to do this. And even when they do that in that day, you might, you got do what you got to do, because Lord forbid, I'm not going against the Most High. And so it's like, there are alternatives for us to do, meaning, like, for example, instead of teaching the children about, and I'm just doing this because this is what I relate to most, because I've worked in the childcare field recently since being in the truth. Let's say, for example, you got to teach them about the history of Christmas, and the Most High can soften anybody's heart. Let's go to Proverbs 21:4, because I've worked at a daycare where I was able to do my own thing, and I work at one where people be tripping. This Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So you got to remember, the Most High can soften anybody's heart. All you got to do is take a trip to the principal office. Okay. Excuse me, this. Can I speak to the principal? Okay. The manager, the boss, whoever. This goes against my beliefs. I don't feel comfortable doing this. Is there any way that I can change my, if I can do more general, things like just winter related activities, like maybe instead of decorating Christmas trees, could I just have them make snowballs out of, like, how you used to do in school? You used to, like, make a snowflake. You used to fold, like, the paper and cut up certain ways. Could I do just stuff like that? could I like, because I know at one daycare I worked at, I did Hanukkah. Okay, we did feast dedications. Okay, but that might not be everybody's situation. So you got to find an alternative. You cannot just be so quick to succumb to this world. You gotta show the Most High that you're trying. You gotta show the Most High that you're trying. Is there, could I maybe, I'm not able to work on Saturday night. Or, I mean, it's like I'm not able to work for those that keep the Saturday Sabbath. Okay, for those that keep it, I'm not able to work on Saturday. Is there a way that I can work on Sunday instead? And if there's not a way, there's not a way. Because it's not always going to be a way. They might be like, no, you can't work Sunday. You're just gonna miss out on money. No, you can't. Well, maybe this is not the job for me. If you're telling me that I have to decorate Christmas trees and I have to, then this might not just be the job for me. Because you got to think like, what would Yahawashi do? Would Yahawashi really be decorating a Christmas tree? I mean, just being real. So it comes a point where we gotta stop using the excuse of, well, it's my job. It's a job, bro. You can find another one. It is a job. Like, do you know it's a job? Exactly. It's a job. You can find another one. So it comes a point where you're not being bold. You gotta be bold. You have to be bold. You can't just be so easy to be like, oh, well, I mean, we're on this world, I mean, they said that they didn't have anybody else on Saturday. Who cares what they said? What did God say? So it comes a point, it's like, what did the Most High say, and what would Yahawashi do? And if Yahawashi wouldn't do it, this might not be for me. I mean, it just is what it is. So I know my cousin, she told me, Khan, full of honor and integrity. I know my cousin, she told me that she said that the manager, the director, whoever, basically told the people, the employees, that you have to come to the Christmas party to get your training certificate. You have to come to the Christmas party to get your training certificate. I guess I just want to be getting my certificate then. So Satan is crafty. They say stuff like, you have to do this if you want to get this. You got to be like, no, I mean, I don't, like, you got to remember, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do nothing, and you got to use their own logic on them sometimes, because we have so-called freedom of religion. So I'm able to freely practice my religion. So I don't have to come to a Christian party because this is going to vex my spirit and it's going to go against what I believe. So when they saying stuff like you have to do this, no, they stop being scared of Esau, bro. I think a lot of us got that Stockholm syndrome. Stop being scared of your oppressor. Tell them folks no. You don't have to do nothing. Tell them no. Ask them, is there a way that, oh, can I just get my my certificate another day? Like, I cannot be there. And actually stop asking them. Tell them you cannot and you will not. I will not be there. I cannot be there. Can I get it on Tuesday? If they say, no, well, I just won't get it then. So, and also you got to remember, pray about these things. Get these things to the Most High, because the Most High will give you a way out. But we got to be bold, man. It's just jobs. This stuff ain't going to last. Tell them folks, no, I ain't doing it. I ain't going. It is what it is. Come with it. It goes with family and all that. So if it means turning down job or opportunities, job promotions, getting fired, losing friends, missing out on so-called opportunities, so be it. So be it.
Dawn Prince with medium dark skin tone.
1 second.
Showing you.
It's like y'all. That might mean it's like it. But yeah, so let's go to Galatians. Let's get Philippians 3 again. We got to go back to that. Let's go back, okay? Philippians 3:7. But what things are gains to me, those I kind of lost for Christ. Yet doubtless, and I count all things but lost for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahawashi HaMashiach, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, do count them but dung, that I may win Yahawashi. We trying to win Yahawashi. We trying to win the Most High over. Stop trying to win a boss over. Stop trying to win a job over. It is what it is. If they can't accommodate your beliefs, If they are trying to tell you that you have to do something, this might not be for me. It just might not be. And that's okay. That's okay. The Most High, he sees you and your labor is not in vain. Stop trying to please these folks. Because Yahawashi said, whosoever shall deny me, I'm going to deny in front of my Father. So you going against the grain now, that's in a sense denying him. Because you're not standing up for the Most High. You're not standing up for righteousness. This is Proverbs 21. The wicked flee when no man pursue, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. We have to be bold as a lion. Don't be shaky. Don't be scared. That's what I'm saying. You got to pray for that spirit if you ain't got that spirit. Galatians 1:10. For do I now persuade men or God, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Yahawashi. That's plain. If you're trying to please men, you can't be, you're not, how can you call yourself a servant of the Lord if you're pleasing men? So this Jeremiah 2:33, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. So trimming your ways to seek love. Why trim your way to seek love? Why go against the grain just to be liked? Just to get a job raise, just to get an extra dollar. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Yahawashi said, whosoever shall deny me, I'm going to deny in front of my Father in heaven. We can't put these things above the Lord. We can't put these things. So let's go to Matthew. Let's go to Matthew 5:10. And I'm going to tell y'all the story, Lord willing. I got 2 stories to tell y'all. Okay. Matthew 5:10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecute they the prophets which are before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it gives light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So call like Bahasham, like Yahawashi. Ultimately, we're blessed when we go through these things, and we're storing up our riches in heaven. And again, like I was saying earlier, some people, being around them, being around us might help them. You're making somebody's life better, whether you know it or not. You never know how your light is helping someone else during a rough time. So we have to continue to be that light. We can't dim our light for nobody. We can't trim our light for nobody. But again, some people, your light just gonna irritate their demons. And that kind of goes into the video Sis y'all and I did. Y'all should go check that out about the spirit of offense, because some people, they just gonna not like you for no reason. And we know why. Because they just can't stand your spirit. They gonna speak evil against you. It don't matter. You could be moving as sincere as possible, but they just gonna always have something to say. They're gonna have this perceived connotation about you. They just not gonna like you. And it is what it is. Because who cares? We're not here to be liked, okay? We're not here to be liked. We trying to be loved and liked by the Most High. We trying to be liked by the Most High. We trying to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. So if that means being disliked by people, who cares? And again, it's not just about us, because you might have people that's looking up to you. That's why Elder Eleazar, he didn't eat that pork. He didn't fake to eat it, because he knew that people would look up to him. He knew that people was looking up to him. So also saying no and fleeing from sin and temptation because of your boldness, it might be help. That might be what helps another sister be bold. You being bold and your testimony might be be exactly what helps another sister be bold. Somebody might be learning from you. So it's not just about us; it's bigger than us. And also, people in this world, they can't see the riches that we're storing up. They can't see or understand how we're being a light. And we can't even physically see our riches that we're storing up, but we know that. But the Most High sees it, and he's just to reward us. Our labor isn't in vain. But a lot of people will fold and say, oh, well, the Most High understand. He'll understand we're in captivity. I had to work. I had to take that promotion, although it goes against everything we believe. I needed money. The Most High knew I was on hard times. That's why Christ called us a faithless generation, because some of us don't truly believe. If we truly believe this Bible, how we say we do, we can't go against the grain, because regardless, the Most High will make a way and provide for us. So in that day, if they say eat this or die, we can't say, oh, well, I was hungry and, I didn't want them to die. I needed to provide for my family. We were short on money. They only would give me a pay raise if I broke the Sabbath. We can't go against the grain, because the Most High, he's just to provide a better job. He's just to provide us food in that day than to eat unclean food or dead animals that we see that have died of itself, which we can't according to the law. So It's like no, I don't want to picture that. Let me see. Okay. Just for edification purposes, Leviticus 17 and 15, and every soul that eateth that which died of itself, or that which torn with beasts, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean unto the even, then shall he be clean. So in that day and even now, just certain things we can't do because the laws of the Most High in this Bible tell us that we can't. And so we can't go against the grain because we were in a tough spot. We have to choose to obey the Most High even in the hardest times. And that's why we can't set our eyes on this place, because saying no and being willing to die that's what's going to get us into the kingdom, Most High willing. So let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. It's all gonna be worth it. It may seem like something small, saying no, but it promise you it's gonna be worth it. The Most High promises that. Shoot, 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Our labor is not in vain. We're not doing this for no reason. So even though to this world they might say it's silly, they might call us names, we know what we're doing it for. This is Hebrews 6 and 10. For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have showed toward his name, and that you have ministered to the saints and do minister. So the most High, he isn't unrighteous to forget when we said no, when we turned down jobs and opportunities because they couldn't accommodate working with us with our religious beliefs. When we abstain from evil for his sake, when we abstain from all appearances of evil, he sees that he's just rewarded. So it also goes to show, do you really believe? Do you really believe the Most High sees you and you'll be rewarded? Or are you kind of like Matthew 24, the end of Matthew 24, where you're like, oh, well, how much longer do I have to suffer? How much longer do I have to miss out on a paycheck? How much longer do I have to go through this? And Most High understand it was hard times. We were hungry. It's Matthew 24 and 45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler of his household to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler of all his goods. But and if the evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So we can't lose faith, and that's why we have to remember why we're doing this. We're doing this so we may get the kingdom of heaven. We're doing this for something bigger. So we can't forget why we're doing this and get faint, because some people will get faint and be like, oh, well, it's just hard times, man. It was just Most High was taking too long. I had to do what I had to do for my family. And that's why we can't love nobody more than the Most High, because we can't go against the grain because of family, because of friends. You got to trust the Most High, make a way, and you got to keep the main thing, continue to fear God rather than man. So this is Sirach 4 and 20. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. For there's a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame which is glory and grace. Accept no person against thy soul. Let not the reverence of any man cause you to fall. So when it comes to this Bible, when it comes to our salvation, we can't be ashamed. Don't let the love or respect you have for a person cause you to go against the Most High. Tell them no. So let's go to 1 Thessalonians 5, because like I was saying earlier, them people ain't forcing you to do nothing. They ain't forcing you to break the Sabbath. They're not forcing you to break the feast days. They're not for you. Nobody's forcing you to, break the Most High's commandments. Some of us just be scared. That's why we can't be scared. That's why we got to be bold. That's why we got to be bold. They might say you can only get $5. They might say you can only get $9 an hour if you don't work on Saturday. Well, either find a new job or just take that $9 an hour. So some stuff we just got to be okay with. As far as, of course, and honestly, we'll never make as much money as people in the world, because people in the world be wicked. They do stuff for wicked reasons, and they be breaking the Sabbath, and it don't matter, honestly, because the Most High, he always provides for us. He always makes sure that we got everything we need. So we got to be able to stand for something, and we'll fall for anything. So if we can't say no to job, school, friends, and family, how will we say no when it's eat this or die? Eat this or your daughter or your mom or husband die. So we have to be serious about these laws. And like I said earlier, use their own logic on them. Use that, we have so-called freedom of religion. But honestly, people don't be caring. They be inconsiderate, and that's okay because we knew it happened. But overall, we have to abstain from all appearance of evil. Nonetheless, if it's evil, abstain from it, man. If it goes against the Most High, abstain from it. Abstain from it. So when it comes to if your children go to public school or, you know, and I know there's been family members that have asked, like, there's been a family member that said she's gonna send Brielle a Christmas gift. I was like, we don't celebrate Christmas. And what vexes me is people think because we don't celebrate, they be like, well, that's y'all, that ain't her. What do you mean? That's our child. If we don't celebrate it, she don't either. And so they try to get these kids young and try to push that on these kids. So you gotta let your family members know, no, do not send a gift. We have to be bold. You can be bold, you can be assertive but respectful. Stop playing with people. Stop letting people play with you. Stop letting people play with the Most High. We gotta be bold. Let's look at this. Psalms 91 and 16. No, so I can Psalm 94 and 16. Psalms 94 and 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Who's going to stand up for the Most High? Who's going to stand up for righteousness' sake? You got to be, you can be respectful and assertive and let people know where you stand. Like, you got to stop letting people play. Like, you got to let people should know that you're serious. Like, respectfully, I said we're not celebrating Christmas, so respectfully, please do not send us a Christmas gift. Please do not send my child a Christmas gift. Like, that's not funny. It's not funny. I don't appreciate it. However you got to say it in a righteous manner. Look, stop playing me. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. And you got to remember that stuff. That just be Satan too. That just be Satan. Sometimes Satan just be trying to. And the Most High, like, he want to see how bold we are. But you can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. This is 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage for us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. So we cannot be ignorant of his devices, because even with the little situation I had, people Satan will try to make you feel like you're not doing the right thing, or you might be crazy. Maybe she's right. But I mean, I don't get to see my family that often. That's why we got to be rooted and grounded in this truth, because if you listen to them thoughts, you might start to go off, Lord forbid. So don't be ignorant of Satan's devices. Do not be ignorant of his devices. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. I did not expect this to be so long. It's okay. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and all shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. What have pride profited us, what good have riches with our banting brought us? So eventually people gonna see we wasn't crazy, So we gotta keep enduring. Don't be faint, don't be weak, don't try to please people and let us world more than the Most High, because the pride of people and their riches and these businesses and stuff is all gonna fall, and it's not gonna get them anywhere. If you're not keeping the commandments, it's wraps. So our obedience to the Father will get us everlasting life, Lord willing. So don't let people get in your head, because we're gonna all have to stand before the Most High. So don't let people get in your head. Let's go to Revelation 3. And I want to go to 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So don't let none of these things move you. Don't let missing out on opportunities, losing jobs, whatever the case may be. Don't let these things move you. Hold fast to these commandments. Hold fast to this word, and don't let nobody trick you out your spot. Because we have to work out our own salvation, trembling and fear, and make the call of our election sure. Satan is crafty. He'll have you thinking you ain't doing the right thing. He'll try to get in your head. People call us names. They might try to make us feel bad. They might try to put us down. But we got to remember it's just Satan. We got to perceive that. So don't be tossed to and fro and wavering when things get tough, because the Most High is going to try into that fire, and he is going to see who's bold, who's going to stand up for righteousness. So this is 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. And let's go to Philippians 2. And 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with trembling and fear. So kind. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 3. Because can't nobody get the kingdom of heaven for you but you. So you can't let nobody get in the way of your salvation. So you breaking the commandments of the Most High to please people, to be on somebody's good side, that's not a good look. And Most High, he sees that. He gonna get up with all of us. He gonna get up with you for that. This is 1 Thessalonians 3:3, that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. For verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. So we knew what was going to come. We knew what would happen. We read the scriptures. We know that we're going to be tempted. We know that people are going to hate us. We know. So don't think these things strange. Like, we've read about this stuff. We've read this stuff. So when these things start to happen, this 1 Peter 4:12, beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fear of trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. Don't be like, well, I don't know what's going on. You know what's going on. It's prophecy coming to pass. It's not strange. You know what it is. You knew what it was. You knew what it was. Being in this truth, saying you following Yahawashi, you knew people was going to talk about you. You knew that you might lose a job. You knew that, bills might be late. You knew the things that was going to come to pass because we read about it. Nothing new is under the sun. So we've been warned in the scripture. Don't think these things strange. Ain't nothing strange about it at all. So when these things happen, just whatever thing that has been brought out in this video, just remember that the Most High is watching. So keep enduring, have integrity, do the right thing even when no one's looking, be bold, say no, and don't get lackadaisical in this truth. Check ingredients and everything. Call the company, see where that stuff is coming from. Don't just, it might not be pork. It might be though. It might be pork. Stop taking risks. Tell people no. Be bold. Stand up for something. Stand up for something. Don't set your hope in this place. Who cares what people think? Be the black sheep, okay? Be the black sheep. Because the black sheep is different. Stands out. I can do all things through whom I shall Yahawashi strengthen me. We can endure. We got this. And then Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So call Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Hamasham, like Yahawashi. Let's look for black sheep. Because we went over the definition earlier. Somebody who's not liked and disregarded as a disgrace because they're different. Look, that black sheep just different. You don't do what everybody else do. Don't be like everybody else. Don't do what everybody do. But first one side. So to my little two stories. So I'm pretty sure I've told y'all this before, that there was one time where I got cussed out by a family member because I didn't tell somebody in my family happy birthday. I got cussed out. This was when I was new in the truth. At this point, I was almost 1 year in the truth. I was almost 1 year in the truth. So I was still like fairly new. But I didn't tell them happy birthday. And I got cussed out. And I didn't talk to that family member. And I was sad about it because me and that family member were really close. I stayed with that family member. So my feelings was hurt and I was a little down. But I knew that it just is what it is. It had to happen. Our person was high. That family member ended up coming around maybe about a year later and apologizing. Yeah, because we didn't speak was it a year later? No, I think it was like 3 months later, 3 to 4 months later. I can't remember because it was in 2021 and it's going to be so-called 2025. But that family member ended up apologizing We still not that tight. Coming into this walk, you're not gonna be that tight with everybody that you like people that you were in the world with. We still weren't that tight though. But that family member ended up apologizing. But sometimes the Most High is gonna test you just to see, are you gonna stand on business? Are you gonna be willing? Like, what are you willing to lose for me? What are you willing to go through for me? What are you willing to endure for me? We gotta remember that these are all trials that the Most High is trying to see. Do you really believe? Where's your faith? If you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. And then another one, this is recent. This was like last week. I work at a daycare, and Brielle, my daughter, she goes to the daycare. And so there's a field trip on Friday. It was a Christmas field trip. And the kids brought Christmas gifts. You know how they do like the gift exchange. And I basically I and the daycare was going to be closed. If your child wasn't attending the field trip, the daycare was going to be closed. Meaning, like, and I didn't have nobody to watch Brielle. So I basically told my manager, I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to be here on Friday, because she was saying like all teachers must attend. And see, that's what I mean. Them jobs, they'd be like, you must do this, you have to do this. You can't be afraid of these jobs and afraid of your boss. You don't have to do anything. Tell them people no. And so I basically told her, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to come Friday. We don't celebrate Christmas, and we don't want our child on that. She had this lady had the nerve to tell me that I'm selfish and I'm making everything about me. And she was like, oh my goodness. She's like, you're making everything about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. We do these things for these kids. She's like, I know what you don't celebrate. I know what you don't celebrate, but this is what we do. You knew this. This is what we do. And that, just block it out. It's not about you. Just block it out. And I said, I understand that's what y'all do, and I was starting to get a little irritated. I was like, I understand that's what y'all do, but we don't celebrate that. And so it's like, why would I put my child on a Christmas train? Why would I do that? Like, I'm not like, and it's like, we can't, obviously we can't protect our children from everything because this place is wicked. But now that's something I can protect my daughter from. I'm not gonna willingly expose her to that. And I gotta protect my spirit too, because first of all, it's already hard enough trying to endure this holiday season. And you want me to get on a Christmas train where y'all are singing Christmas songs? You might got Santa on there, and y'all about to be exchanging gifts. Like, I'm not finna be around it. I'm not even finna put my spirit in something. I'm not even finna. And that's why we have to. That's why the Most High tells us to Sirach 37:27. You have to prove your soul, know your soul. You have to know what's gonna. You gotta know what you can't be around. And this is Sirach 37:27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for, and give not that unto it. And so you got to know what's evil for your soul, and don't give that unto it. And I know I used to love Christmas in the world, so I know I can't be around them like that, because I don't want these deceiving spirits trying to hop on me. And then she was like, "This job may not be for you, lady. If you want to fire me, please don't spare me. Well, I pray the Most High for a job, but like, if that's how you feel, this place might not be for you. It just might not be. It just might not be. But that just goes to show, man, we gotta say no. Like, don't let a job scare you or a boss scare you where they be like, you have to do this, you have to come. You don't have to do anything. What you have to do though is keep these commandments. You gotta do that. You gotta keep these commandments and fear the Most High, fear God, and keep His commandments. Just the whole duty, man. Just remember, y'all, the Most High's watching. He's watching, so you got to be willing to say no. If they want you to break the Sabbath, no. They want you to come to the Christmas party, no. They want you to you ain't seeing your family member, and they only come down on Christmas, and they want you to come over to the house so they celebrating Christmas, no. Whatever else happens in this, whatever else we might deal with, because it's so many different things. No, 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 no. You got to perceive these spirits and rebuke them in the name of Yahawashi, because ultimately it's just Satan. Satan just trying to sift you out. Satan, it's just Satan. So, Lord willing, is edifying. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all Sabbath. And for those that's about to start keeping dedications, I hope it goes mighty for y'all. It's beautiful for y'all. And y'all, we got to continue to endure so we can get up out of this place. Don't let these spirits deceive you. And then tell people no. Be bold, stand for something. You're gonna fall for anything. Be bold as a lion, because the Most High, He sees that He's watching you, and He's just to reward us according to our work. So call like Bahasham, like Yahawashi. I love y'all. Shalom.